So I worked in the gym industry for many years, and it got to the point where I was doing 15 to 17 sessions back to back every day. So what I'd started doing is, there's no way I can eat, and when I do eat, all the blood flow goes to my stomach and I need a nap. So I just started drinking protein, and my meals were very small, usually protein based, and I'd have to sneak in my workouts, right? Because I had this expectation to stay down at a certain body fat level, to have a certain strength and fitness and symmetry. So I ended up taking things very extreme because I was pushed to an extreme in my own occupation. Later, there was a lawsuit that I was named on. I ended up getting paid like a measly $10,000-$12,000 over that whole thing, but conclusively proved that I worked 17 hours a day. Can you believe it? And oftentimes there was no like breaks or lunch breaks. So that's the contention of the lawsuit. And it was against Equinox Fitness. It's been so long, and it's such a long time ago now that it doesn't really matter, So California labor laws are really weird as it is. So I would have to keep my workouts at a certain intensity, but they had to be very short. So that's the way I used to train. So when I'm getting back into fitness after I get a little base like I did, that's what those 2.5, 3 months were taking my time. Didn't hurt my shoulder throughout that entire time until last week. I knew it was going to happen because I've got a damaged clavicle and the acromion process and all just from years of training and breaking it a few times as a child, and then it not healing back, coming from a poor family that couldn't provide the medical services. It's been a lifelong thing. It cost me taking my baseball onto another level because I ended up getting pretty good, but I just couldn't. I could throw like perfect fastballs, and then after the third one, it would just go flying over the fence. And my coach didn't understand that, so embarrassingly, he made me pitch an entire game where some of the time that rotator cuff would work, and this is like right after the injury. So if I could sue somebody, I would sue that guy, George Ushakov, really pushing me to throw at that. I threw over a 90-mile-an-hour fastball when I was 10 or 11 years old. Even brought in a speed, like the speed machine, and a professional pitching coach, and the high school catcher that was on the team years prior. And he actually went, "Oh my God, Barry, that hurt." And so, coming from poverty, it really costs you a lot. You notice how this side of my face is all messed up. All these teeth from drinking nothing but apple juice and sleeping on that for years caused a lot of rot in this area as a little toddler, and later had a lot of issues with that. Apple juice. There was nothing else around. I had a lazy artist father who later left the family in poverty and went and made a bunch of money. Just a complete and total cerebral narcissist that to this day is just a complete narcissist, like a shell of a human being. So I came from a family, let's say, of narcissistic people that didn't take fitness or training serious at all. I don't know if my mother's ever done a push-up in her life. My ex-wife is absolutely, you get attracted, follow what I'm saying, you get attracted to this because you're used to the degradation, you're conditioned to sign or sin against yourself. So, but I always loved fitness, and I always kept it on the down low, on the back burner. And so for me to give that up over the past 10 years because I needed to heal myself from that narcissism get real, get transparent, throw the vanity away. So that's what GIT training's all about. GIT training, gradual intensity training, just came to me. And it's ADD, attention deficit directed training. That is, you go into the gym and you do what your body tells you to do. You listen to it. But more so, the ADD part comes in where you literally do whatever you want to do. If you just want to do 5 sets of squats, if you want to do 1 set of squats and then do a set of crunches and then leave the gym, you're good. If you don't want to come back for a week because your body's telling you, I don't want to work out, you're good. You only work out if you want to work out. And you really have to be honest with yourself and ask yourself, do I want to be more fit? Do I want to feel better? Do I want the responsibility of having to change my diet around a little bit? And even with diet, I say add in the things that you need and don't take anything out. With smokers and drinkers, I just told them, I'm not trying to get you to quit smoking or drinking. I'm trying to show you that there's a window where you have to kind of create this cycle. And then that's where the 3-day diet cycle came from. I called it the snake diet at one time, because you're super compensating with carbohydrates, and then you're kind of like living off those carbohydrates by taking in protein. I was effectively able to keep my career going, train all my clients similarly, but that wasn't the end all goal. The end all goal is to eat, more fiber. So a lot of the wealthy clients, I got them on that next level where they'd be doing a lot of crock pot cooking. They'd be eating a lot of lentils. We love Ezekiel bread back then, but there's ways to make breads like that on your own. You don't have to go broke doing this. And to always think about insulin sensitivity, where you don't combine fat and carbohydrates in one meal. And I really would push that and say that's over like 3 meals. Like if you're going to carb load, try to carb load over 3 meals. And then if you're going to try to take in healthy fats, try to take them in the forms of really high quality oils with, say, a salad or something like this, where you get the fiber. So I would almost like match and marry fiber and healthy fats together, and then protein and carbohydrates. But then there's also times where you could go ketotic, but I really never believed in the whole ketose thing. I always tried to push through ketosis and push it onto gluconeogenesis that's driven, and then come back out of it. In other words, you're tapping to the bottom of your stored glycogen, and once you hit that, you're able to slowly, with low density foods, come back out of that. So no judgments, no real criteria. You want to be as educated as possible. You learn things, and then you throw out the entire construct and you do whatever the hell you want to do. So if I see somebody or know someone who's, let's say, considered grossly overweight, and they enjoy running or working out, I don't try to talk them into burning off their fat or trying to fit into some sort of aesthetic. I say, feel good, don't get overly hedonistic, but if you do, you're going to learn that way too. And that's what we're doing here. We're matriculating. We are constituents of a school program that's called Life on Earth.